to evacuate.
2 of the homes sustained significant damage where the fire went inside the home, into the attic space, into the living areas.
We were in there and quick knock on the door, and I looked out, everybody ran away, and then she looked out the window and said, "Fire!"
David Wyndham's home was one of the 4 impacted.
Our shed is destroyed, but that happens. And part of my car melted.
And as neighbors look at the damage left behind, they are happy to know no lives were lost.
Pierce County Sheriff's detectives say a man was defending himself and his home when he shot and killed an intruder early yesterday morning. It was about 1:45. A man called 911 and said he had shot someone at his house. This is near 13th Avenue Court East and a block south of Military Road. Deputies arrived and found a 36-year-old man on the back porch. He had been shot. Here's Deputy Carly Capetto in audio released by the Sheriff's Department.
The deputies attempted life-saving measures, but the 36-year-old male was pronounced deceased.
Investigators say before the suspect died, surveillance cameras recorded him walking around several other homes. Deputies say the homeowner cooperated and was not arrested. Gunfire outside a popular Tacoma restaurant Friday night led to a crash involving 3 cars. Tacoma police say it happened about 10 o'clock at the Lobster Shop on Ruston Way. Witnesses reported hearing shots and seeing someone fire several rounds. A group in the parking lot ran to their cars. 3 of them crashed soon after. Police haven't said if anyone was hurt. According to the News Tribune, no arrests have been made. A southern resident orca seen pushing her dead calf near Orcas Island Friday. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibow has details.
Researchers say it's too early to tell, but they do say there are 2 major factors inside our Pacific Northwest waters linked to orca pregnancy failures. Dr. Michael Weiss with the Center for Whale Research.
We don't know if it was a stillbirth or if it died shortly after birth. Based on its size, we think it was a full-term or very nearly full-term calf.
Sadly, researchers say J36 has lost offspring before. Weiss believes she continued to carry her deceased calf out of love for her baby.
Just ahead of our traffic, the Mariners broke out the brooms in a big way yesterday, sweeping aside the Angels in 4 games. It was a hit parade for the Mariners. They racked up 11 runs on 16 hits. The entire Mariners offense was clicking throughout the afternoon, but M's outfielder Dominic Canzone had an especially good day, bringing in 3 runs on 3 hits.
Here's the pitch. Swung on line, drive center field, down base hit. Naylor scores. Polanco around third base. He's being waved. He is going to score. 2 more on the board. It's double figures on the day. Dom Canzone drives in 2. 10-0 Mariners in the 4th.
Well, that was fun, wasn't it? 11-2 final. They've won the last 9 games in a row, taking sole possession of first place in the AL West. They'll take today off before hitting the road for the last time this season, beginning with a 3-game set in Kansas City, ending in Houston this weekend for the most important series of the season against the Astros. Highlights from the Seahawks coming up in a moment, but first let's check your traffic with Chris Sullivan.
And we are working with a crash on northbound 167, just north of the 410 interchange in Sumner. Drivers are reporting it's in the left general purpose lane, not the hot lane there. So plan on some big-time delays getting through the Puyallup area and through that interchange. That drive from Puyallup to Renton now is getting closer to an hour, but only 25 of those minutes are from Auburn. So that tells you have a lot of work to do at the beginning part of that drive. Also seeing heavy slowing westbound on 410 because you're driving right into that backup. So be prepared for that. Once you get through that, Renton to Bellevue's running right around 40, so we've actually added a couple of minutes there. Northbound I-5, also 35 minutes from South Center, so those last couple of miles past the West Seattle Bridge are going to look relatively normal, but it's not too bad from Federal Way up to South Center. So overall, the travel time is under an hour. Lake bridges are still okay, though there is some westbound slowing off the western tip of Mercer Island. Coming down from the north end, heavy through Mount Lake Terrace on I-5, 50 minutes Everett to Seattle. Heavy through Canyon Park and Bothell, 55 from Everett into the Bellevue area. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Our forecast, it's going to be a really nice week. We're going to see mostly sunny skies today, 70. Warming up to about 83 for tomorrow, but it's just a one-day thing with the heat. 74 on Wednesday and 70 on Thursday, but lots of sunshine for the week, just scattered clouds at times. Right now it's cloudy and 54 in Seattle.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, big first win of the season for the Seahawks yesterday. In case you missed the action, here's a little recap.
Terrible towels, and they are yellow in color, are being waved. And for those of you old enough to remember Super Bowl 40, you remember those terrible towels were out in force in Detroit as the Steelers won that Super Bowl over Mike Holmgren's Seahawks team. Darnold has time, going to throw it to the near side. He's got a man. Touchdown, Seahawks. And it's the rookie, Torrey Horton. The Seahawks, a 9-play drive. They pay it off with a 21-yard touchdown pass to Torrey Horton. And the Seahawks are on the board with their first possession of the game. Sam Darnold has led this team right down the field. Darnold, 3-step drop, throws back inside. Ball is caught. Touchdown, Seahawks. A.J. Barner. And the Seahawks are a point from tying this ball game. Rodgers will go from the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks to the end zone. Fires a shot. Ball is intercepted in the end zone. A little tit for tat by the Seahawks defense. They pick off Aaron Rodgers. Here's Ken Walker, break free on the left side. Stutter steps, makes a man miss, and finally is dropped in Pittsburgh territory inside the 40-yard line. Ken Walker III, he's getting warmed up, folks. Look out if you're a Steelers fan, because this guy can rip off 15, 20 yards in a heartbeat. This is going to be a 54-yard field goal attempt by Jason Meyer. Kicking off the left hash. Dixon puts it down. This one looks like it's got enough leg. Is it straight enough? It is. It's good. From 54 is Jason Myers. Getting ready to boot it away is Myers, a low line drive kick. Gainwell and Johnson. As the ball bounces through the hands of Johnson and into the end zone, it's going to stay in the end zone. Do the Seahawks fall on it in the end zone? It's going to be a touchdown, Seahawks. The ball went through the hands of the kick returner. Holy catfish! What a break for the Hawks. Play fake to Charbonnet. Now he's going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line. The Seahawks finally take a deep shot, and it's JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba in single coverage. A perfect pass thrown by Sam Darnold. 3rd and goal from the 19. Walker now in the backfield. JSN wide to the left side, and Walker's going to get the toss. He's going left side. He's got some blocking. He turns upfield. He's down inside the 5. Touchdown, Seahawks! Ken Walker III. The Seahawks score again. It is 30-17.
Well, that was fun, wasn't it? The Seattle Seahawks are back home this weekend. Today is the last day you can enter to win 4 tickets to watch the Seattle Seahawks game, September 21st. All you need to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app, click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, simply text the word app to 888-973-5476. We'll send you a link to download. It was a really great sports weekend, unless you're a Coug.
Wow.
What was it, 59-10?
Yeah. Something like that.
Ouch.
Yeah, pretty rough.
All right, Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the crash on northbound 167 as you get out of the Sumner area. We'll break it down for you next.
Looking for even more Seahawks content? Then you gotta check out The Reset. Hey, it's G. Scott, and every week, me and my co-host and Seahawks great Brandon Meebane talk Seahawks. We break down the matchups, and we're joined by former Seahawks players.
From Lakewood to Lombardi, Seahawks champion, my main man, Jermaine Kearse.
What up, G?
Watch The Reset live on YouTube or subscribe on the Seattle Sports app.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Hey, it's Shannon O'Kelly from IRG, and this Wednesday, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk all about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
Which joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Are you in pain? Join the free live stem cell webinar Wednesday night at 6 to learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
Movers leaking in racks are moving and movers creeping in, water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Hey, it's G. Scott. With kids back in school, it's rally time. And I encourage everyone to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Here's the truth. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong, stay focused, and live healthy lives. But for families on tight budgets, those essentials can be out of reach. That's where we come in. Together, the Washington State Department of Health and Safeway need you to help make a difference making fresh fruits and vegetables accessible to families and kids. Safeway is deeply committed to nourishing our communities. Every dollar donated is another dollar eligible families can use on fresh produce. And with SNAP Produce Match, they can buy twice as much with each dollar. Let's work together to make sure every kid has access to the nutrition they deserve. Next time you're at your neighborhood Safeway, please say yes at checkout to donate to the Keep Kids Healthy campaign. Learn more and start saving at Safeway.com/SNAP or on your Safeway for You app.
It's 7:43 and time to check the Monday Drive. Chris Sullivan has your traffic every 10 minutes.
And we have a crash blocking the left general purpose lane, not the hot lane on northbound 167 as you work your way just away from 410 in Sumner. So plan on delays. The backup kind of extends all the way now into the Puyallup area, right before the Puyallup River. So plan on at least a 10-12 minute delay there getting up past this. And then 410 is backed up significantly in the westbound direction, trying to tie in there as well. So overall, it's about 55 minutes from Puyallup to Renton, but most of that is just right there. Out of the Auburn area, it's only 25 minutes, so really not too bad. Renton to Bellevue, though, up at 40, so it's a little heavier maybe than you might expect. No Monday discount for you guys. Northbound I-5, though, from Federal Way to Seattle's running just under an hour. 35 of those minutes are from South Center, so as you might expect, as you get past Boeing Field, it's going to bog down right there at the Michigan curve before you get to the West Seattle Bridge. Coming down from the north end, we are looking at about a 50-minute trip from Everett into Seattle, about 55 from Everett into Bellevue. The brake lights there are really heavy through Canyon Park.
It's a reminder that, yes, it doesn't get there very often, and only when it really has to.
We've hit the $15 max on southbound I-405 as you work your way away from Linwood, so we're off to a fun start there. We are in the middle of a Hood Canal bridge lift, or just wrapping one up, so plan on big-time delays on either side of 104 there. That's been happening a lot lately, so keep a close eye on that. This traffic report brought to you by KIRO Newsradio. I'm Chris Sullivan.
It's 7:45, a different day of the week to consider when taking a day off. KIRO Newsradio's Katrina Gishard is here to explain.
When taking a day off, most likely it would be a Monday or Friday to secure that 3-day weekend. But what about Wednesday? It just might feel better.
The kinds of things that a Wednesday can support for people is rest. You don't get a chance to really get tired if you have a break in the middle of the week.
University of Texas Associate Professor Dr. Donna Ballard adds,
you get 2 days, then you get a break, and you go at your own pace, and then 2 more days, and then you're back to the weekend, and you get your own rhythm.
So would you be into a Wednesday day off, Manda?
Kinda. I think maybe. By Friday or so, I'm kind of tired. Maybe it would be nice.
I feel like it would break my rhythm, so I'm going to say
that's
no.
true.
Yeah, I'd rather be on a streak of days and kind of, get into the groove, get into the rhythm, and then have just like a long weekend. There's nothing better than a long weekend.
Do you still get Saturday, Sunday off, or would that you would just trade one for the other?
You still get Saturday and Sunday off.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, give me a Wednesday.
Easy peasy. All right, thanks, Katrina. Coming up, Crime and Punishment, our weekly check-in with Casey McNerthney at the King County Prosecutor's Office.
So what'll you have today? Vanilla, chocolate, strawberry?
When it comes to picking ice cream, there are lots of choices, and they all look and sound so good. Choosing a Medicare plan is a lot like that. So many options, all sound good. But if you pick a plan that's not right for you, there can be serious consequences. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Open enrollment season is right around the corner, and you're going to be inundated with advertisements encouraging you to choose this Medicare Advantage plan or that one. Maybe the best choice for you is traditional Medicare. To make an informed decision, you need to do your homework. The Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program has a free Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit to get you started.
This is Insurance Commissioner Patty Kuderer. Our Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit has a checklist of 7 easy steps to help you decide which Medicare plan is right for you.
Order your free toolkit today at insurance.wa.gov. That's insurance.wa.gov. Or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center. Then go get an ice cream.
If your closets are bursting at the seams like the Curly household, it's time to call the pros at Closets by Design Seattle. Every job is completely custom. Free in-home design consultation. Right now, they're offering big savings up to 40% off, plus an additional 15% off with 18 months financing and free installation. You're getting the quality and backing of a national brand, but with friendly local Seattle service. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule your free in-home design consultation today.
When the weather changes, your home shouldn't be the one left unprepared. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. We offer the strongest solutions in roofing, siding, decking, windows, and gutters, made for the Pacific Northwest. And right now, get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 24 months or up to $3,000 off your next project. No gimmicks, no stress, just reliability you can count on. Visit stateroofing.com or call 866-ROOF-ROOF to schedule your free estimate today.
State Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
When the heat's an 11,
Cool AC would be heaven.
dayandnight.net. Get end-of-season savings of 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump while supplies last at Day and Night.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Save 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump, plus no payments or interest for a year OAC. Call for details.
dayandnight.net.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Well, every Monday it is Crime and Punishment with Casey McNerthney from the King County Prosecutor's Office. Casey, good morning. Thanks for being here.
It's good to see you, man.
So in court this morning, there's an arraignment for a defendant accused of selling fentanyl and meth at 12th Avenue South and South Jackson Street. Tell us more.
Yeah, there's 2 different defendants. 12th and Jackson is the fentanyl case, and that area needs some help. And so it's been a focus for Seattle police. And when those cases come to King County prosecutors, we charge those consistently. The hard part is there's so much activity over there that those cases don't stand out a lot, but the work is still happening. And there was another case in Belltown that was recently referred to us. He's also in court this morning, that second defendant. First and Blanchard was the area where this person was picked up. And there's a detail in the court documents for the case that he's charged in this morning. He was accused of selling cocaine near First and Blanchard. The detail in the court document explains how prosecutors are just one part of the picture. Here's that detail.
I have the document in front of me. The defendant does not follow the orders of this court. This is not new information. February 7th, the defendant picked up a drug charge for conspiracy to sell fentanyl. Prosecutors requested $10,000 in bail at that time, to which the court disagreed and released the defendant on his personal recognizance. Then, March 18th, the defendant picked up another drug charge involving the intent to sell fentanyl. The state again requested bail be set at $10,000, to which the court again disagreed but set it at $5,000. And we go on. Less than 3 months later, while he was on warrant status for failing to appear to his court appearance for these drug-dealing matters, the defendant was booked into custody again for a third drug charge, this time for delivering cocaine. Based on the defendant's deliberate disregard for court orders, the state requested bail set at $75,000. The court set bail at $30,000, and the defendant remained in custody.
That's a lot, but that shows how prosecutors are just one part of the legal system. And, what prosecutors can promise from King County is that if you have somebody who's accused of fentanyl or another serious drug like that, that prosecutors will bring that case to court when there's evidence to do so, and at least ask for people to be held when, they're moving really deadly substances like that.
It's just so frustrating. Why do they keep getting out and keep doing it again?
That's a great question. It really is up to, well, there's two things. It's really up to how the case resolves and also what the court decides, what a judge decides. When you have a case like that, this person with his first conviction here had no conviction history, and so the range was 0 to 12 months, even for a felony crime for moving fentanyl. So he got time served, which was just under 3 months. That's not a lot of time, and it's such a juxtaposition when you see how deadly fentanyl is, and you get what's in some cases equivalent to a misdemeanor sentence, even with a felony.
On another topic this morning, it was Friday night. A 46-year-old man was arrested in a child molestation investigation in Tent City 3. What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, this was a case near the Lowe's on Rainier Avenue. That's where Tent City 3 is. There was a mother who contacted police and said, hey, my 9-year-old, I'm not sure where she went to. They responded right away. They found her by that point, and she described to police a sexual assault.
Did you say 9?
Yeah, 9 years old. Yeah.
Ugh. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a really concerning case, and so he was in court on Saturday. What King County prosecutors asked for was for him to be held on $750,000 bail. We anticipate getting the case from Seattle Police by Wednesday for a charging decision.
Are there a lot of cases like this that come out of tent cities or encampments that are actually charged?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And I think a lot of people wonder, do you actually charge those cases? And King County prosecutors do. The key is getting those cases referred to us. But, wherever a case happens, whether it's, from Medina or from a encampment or a tent city or anywhere in between, prosecutors handle the case the same way.
Casey McNerthney with the King County Prosecutor's Office. Thanks. It's 7:53, and that's time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. Sully, what's happening?
Okay, for the next little bit, this one's a biggie. For people who normally use I-5 to eastbound 520 to get off at Montlake, okay? You can't do that right now. There's a crash right at the ramp, and the ramp to Montlake from eastbound 520 is blocked.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking you're doing that, you're going to have to go across the lake and pay the toll, because there's no other exit before you get to the floating bridge.
That's kind of a pain.
Right. So if you're trying to get to Montlake or the U District, get off at 45th, maybe get up through Capitol Hill if you're going northbound. Find a different way, because at this point, if your destination's Montlake, you're probably going to have to go across the lake, pay the toll, turn right around, and come back and pay the toll again to get to where you are in Montlake. So I'm going to be watching this really closely. Keep an eye on that because, no one wants to get stuck in that. So that's our biggie right now, because it kind of comes with some extra there. So be prepared. Looks like we might have cleared the crash or getting close to it on northbound 167 coming out of Sumner. It's been right there coming before you get to 24th, blocking the left general purpose lane. Still pretty heavy back and forth out of Puyallup. 410 is really jammed up trying to get through Sumner because you're driving right through that. Overall, we've got about an hour drive now from Puyallup to Renton because of that braking there and at the far north end. Renton to Bellevue is about 40 minutes, so that's about average. Northbound I-5, Federal Way to Seattle, just under an hour, so that's not too terrible. Westbound, both of the lake bridges are doing okay. Coming down from the north end, we've got about an hour drive from Everett to Bellevue, about 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle. Hood Canal Bridge lift, still seeing heavy slowing on both directions there of 104. Keep that in mind, and we're definitely seeing the right before 8 o'clock slowing on northbound I-5 as you get into Tacoma, but it's nothing you guys can't handle. This report brought to you by Wilcox Family Farms Eggs. Fresh food comes from local farms for healthier eggs with 3 times the omega-3s. Choose Wilcox Omega-3 eggs at Costco, locally fresh since 1909.
Nice week ahead. Weather-wise, mostly sunny and 74 today. We're going to warm up to the low 80s for tomorrow, but it's just a one-day thing. Back to the mid-70s by Wednesday. The high on Thursday, 70. Lots of sunshine, just some scattered clouds here and there. Right now in Seattle, it's cloudy and 54 degrees. And coming up, we're going to chat with a biologist and filmmaker who's been following 2 families of mountain lions across the Northwest. He'll join us to talk about the misconceptions surrounding the animals and how he got such an up-close look at them. That's coming up here on Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah, got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Hello, sunshine. And while you're out and about in the summer sun, make sure your bank accounts can keep up with you. Free checking with WaFd Bank can do that, and much more. No more worrying about minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees. And WaFd has thousands of fee-free ATMs and more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states. Plus, WaFd Bank offers new tools like voice-activated banking, so you can check your balance and make transfers between your WaFd accounts using just your voice. You can do your banking while you're planting those spring flowers. You also have access to free tools like online and mobile banking, bill pay, person-to-person payments with Zelle, mobile check deposit, and full control over your debit cards to turn them on or off should they get misplaced. And you can choose from some pretty great-looking debit cards, including the Seattle Kraken and the Seawolves. So visit wafdbank.com to open your account today and find out why they were awarded Best Bank by Newsweek 3 years in a row. Non-sufficient funds charge may apply. WaFd Bank, member FDIC.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Crawl space and attics are not places you want to spend much time, but many homes in our area can have serious issues behind the hatches. Hi, it's the owner of Crawl Pros, Richard Herron. For years, you've heard us talking about how we go where you don't want to. With our free corner-to-corner inspection to keep your crawl space and attic well insulated and free of mold and water. You've also heard about the pest control division of our company to keep your home bug and critter free. I'm excited to tell you about our newest division, Plumber Pros. Plumber Pros takes the same customer-first approach to plumbing that we do with our crawl space, attic, and pest control work. We've handpicked skilled plumbers that I know you'll feel comfortable inviting into your home. So next time you run into plumbing issues, from leaky faucets and clogged drains to full home repipes and sub pump installations, call Crawl Pros and we'll get our plumbing division, Plumber Pros, out to get it resolved. For anything related to your crawl space, attic, pest control, or plumbing, call Crawl Pros or visit us at crawlpros.com.
Hey, it's Brock Heward. My family did it, and it saved us thousands. You got to do it. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It's free. See how much First Mark can save you and how much better coverage you can get. They work for you. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling soon. Free Good-to-Go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
Lori here from Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation. I'm here with good news. Guardian has flexible financing options. With Guardian's acclaimed services, you can upgrade or repair your roof, gutters, and insulation. Call to hear about our flexible financing options or visit guardianroofing.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. Not many details are out, but there's word of an agreement between the U.S. and China on TikTok.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has been holding talks with the Chinese in Spain. He indicates there will soon be U.S.-controlled ownership.
The two leaders, President Trump and Party Chair Xi, will speak on Friday to complete the deal, but we do have a framework for a deal with TikTok.
A pause on a U.S. ban on TikTok over its ties to China has been extended 3 times by President Trump. The current one expires Wednesday. Legal analyst Lori Levinson.
There has been a law that Congress passed that basically said that TikTok could not be controlled by China, which is a foreign adversary. Under that law, Google and Apple would be prohibited from distributing TikTok in the United States. But when Trump took office, he made it clear that he wanted to reach some type of deal regarding TikTok.
Well, now to Utah. CBS's Carter Evans has the latest on the case against Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old suspect in the Charlie Kirk assassination.
The Utah County Attorney is expected to file formal charges against the alleged shooter tomorrow. Turning Point USA, which is the conservative organization that Charlie Kirk co-founded in 2012, will hold a public memorial for him this coming Sunday at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona.
Overseas, Secretary of State Rubio shows U.S. backing for Israel in a meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu.
What happened on October 7th was an act of unparalleled barbarism, and what's happened since then have been repeated acts of unparalleled barbarism on the part of Hamas. Hamas needs to cease to exist as an armed element that can threaten the peace and security of the region.
Rubio goes to Qatar tomorrow. Officials there were angered by Israel's targeting of Hamas leaders in the capital Doha. Arab leaders meeting there today condemned Israel for, quote, hostile acts, including genocide. On the Health Watch today, some encouraging news for women in their 50s.
Menopause can bring such miserable symptoms as hot flashes and night sweats. Hormone replacement therapy can manage the symptoms, but till now, women in their 50s have been warned away from HRT after early research suggested it raised their risk of heart attack or stroke. But now, a study in the Journal of the American Medical Association has found there is little increased risk in that age group. The women over 70 should still stay away from HRT. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
There's word Cincinnati Bengals star quarterback Joe Burrow will miss 3 months of the season. He'll need surgery on an injured toe. Wall Street. Right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 89 points. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
It's 8:03. Let's check the Monday drive. Back to Chris Sullivan. We check traffic every 10 minutes.
And it is safe now to get on eastbound 520 to get off at Montlake. They have reopened that ramp. No need to bail. I'm hoping people didn't get caught and had to go all the way across the lake. But that ramp from eastbound 520 to Montlake from I-5 is now open. So that's positive. It didn't stay blocked for long. Still looking at heavy brake lights down in the Puyallup-Sumner area. It looks like this crash is still there, blocking the left general purpose lane of northbound 167 as you get up north of 410 out of Sumner. So we're looking at about an hour drive from Puyallup to Renton, and that includes 30 minutes from Auburn now, too. So not exactly a great drive there. Westbound 410 is still struggling through Sumner because of right where that crash is. Renton to Bellevue, about 40 minutes now. The Valley Freeway I just gave you, northbound I-5, Federal Way to Seattle's getting closer to an hour with 40 of those minutes from South Center. 509 and 99 are also pretty heavy as well. Lake bridges in the westbound direction are not bad. Out of the north end, 55 minutes from Everett to Seattle, about an hour now from Everett to Bellevue. We have brake lights through Kirkland now as well. And we're still working with the remnants of this latest Hood Canal bridge lift. Looks like it's open again to cars, but the backups are pretty solid on either end. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
It is 8:04. This is Seattle's morning news for Monday. It's the 15th of September. Thanks for joining us. Sunday's brush fire along I-5 and South Beacon Hill created heavy smoke and flames, and KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reports it spread to 4 nearby homes.
First responders weren't the only ones quick to the scene.
So then I kind of rushed here and left work out of nowhere. And yeah, when I got here, it was like 10 fire trucks.
Ken says his parents called him and said the brush fire was just feet from their home. He says the good news, their home is fine. But his grandparents were the two people rushed to the hospital.
Apparently my grandparents went to the Harborview because they couldn't breathe and they couldn't walk either.
With that said, He says his grandparents are going to be okay.
The man accused in a string of high-profile crimes, including breaking into Macklemore's house, is expected in court this morning. We get the update from KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun.
King County prosecutors have charged 29-year-old Patrick Masonette with 10 felonies for robberies and burglaries targeting the homes of Seattle Mariners pitcher Luis Castillo, former Seahawks star Richard Sherman, and Macklemore. They say the musician's nanny was attacked with bear spray during the robbery. Police arrested Masonette in August. His arraignment is set to start at 9 a.m. this morning.
Pierce County Sheriff's detectives say a man was defending himself and his home when he shot and killed an intruder early yesterday morning. It was about 1:45. A man called 911 and said he had shot someone at his house near 13th Avenue Court East, a block south of Military Road. Deputies arrived and found a 36-year-old man on the back porch who had been shot. Here's Deputy Carly Capetto in audio released by the Sheriff's Department.
The deputies attempted life-saving measures, but the 36-year-old male was pronounced deceased.
Investigators say before the suspect died, surveillance cameras recorded him walking around several other houses. Deputies say the homeowner cooperated and was not arrested. A man died after being hit by a semi in Seattle's Chinatown International District. This happened late yesterday morning near 12th Avenue South and South King Street. Seattle police say the man had life-threatening injuries when they got there. Seattle Fire took him to Harborview, but he didn't make it. His name has not been released, and police say the truck driver was not impaired. They did not make an arrest. A motorcyclist died in a hit-and-run crash late Saturday in Seattle's South Park neighborhood. State Patrol says it happened about 11:40 at night on Highway 509. Troopers say a car was being driven erratically and hit the motorcycle near Myers Way. That crash pushed the bike into another lane where it was hit again by a white Toyota Camry. The motorcyclist was a 50-year-old from Seattle. He died at the scene. The Camry driver wasn't hurt. His car was totaled, though. The first car hit a barrier, and the driver took off. According to the Seattle Times, troopers are still looking for that driver.
Seattle's longest-running radio news show. Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Well, good Monday morning. It's the 15th of September. Glad to have you with us. Charlie Harger has the day off. I'm Manda Factor. Chris Sullivan is here checking the roads for us every 10 minutes. Producer David Burbank is here. We're all in a good mood this morning because of all the great sports action yesterday. We'll talk more about that here in just a couple of minutes. Nick Kreisha is in the control room running the board. And we're going to hear from Mark Elbrock this hour. He's been following two families of mountain lions around the country. He'll describe his encounters with those animals and why many people misunderstand them. Also, G. Scott has a few things to say about the big Seahawks victory. It's 8:08. Washington now has the highest gas price in the country. AAA says the average cost for regular is $4.66 a gallon. That's even higher than California, where prices are usually the worst. Seattle drivers are paying the most in the state, while gas averaging $4.81 in the city. Experts say it's not just the usual gas taxes. Climate policies and new local fees are pushing those prices even higher. Students at some Seattle high schools plan to walk out today. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports they're upset about lunch.
The problem isn't what's on the menu. It's the fact that instead of one lunch period for the whole school, there will be two, meaning some students might not be able to eat with their friends. As of today, Ballard, Garfield, Ingram, Lincoln, Nathan Hale, Roosevelt, and West Seattle high schools will have two 30-minute lunch periods.
Talk to students who say going to clubs and hanging out with their friends during lunch is the reason they go to school.
Leo Fallet Bayamonte is a junior at Nathan Hale.
If you go to any students in Seattle Public Schools Instagram right now, you will see them posting about this one lunch program because students are angry and ready to get organized about this.
According to the Seattle Times, the district says some schools don't have the staff to handle the entire student body in one 30-minute lunch period, and one one-hour block could cut into the instructional time that's required by law, and it could also break teacher contract rules. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Tacoma Public Schools is investigating a sick-out that happened on Friday, accusing those involved of misconduct. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon has more.
TPS was left scrambling after staff at Reed Elementary suddenly called out sick. A TPS employee who asked to remain anonymous says about 35 teachers and paraeducators didn't show up after recent announcements about staff cuts. Families got a flyer saying that a first-grade teacher was let go on Tuesday. It also warned that a second-grade teacher, an assistant principal, and an office staff member would be gone starting today. The flyer suggests the call-out was meant to send a strong message to the district against these cuts.
Finding parking at the Linwood Transit Center is trickier now. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thomas tells us why.
50 spots in one of the parking lots here at the station will be blocked off. They're fixing the area around a dumpster and have to move that dumpster into the lot. Nearly every weekday it is full at the Linwood parking garage. There are some plans to address it, but they are far from being nailed down right now. It includes reservations for people who carpool or paying for parking to affect demand.
If they were to make changes, I guess I would pay for parking if that's what it required.
In the meantime, Sound Transit is encouraging people to get dropped off or take other transit options to the Linwood parking garage.
It's now 8:10. Well, the Seahawks pulled off a huge win over the weekend in Pittsburgh against the Aaron Rodgers-led Steelers. Seattle's defense showed up in a big way, intercepting Rodgers twice, including this clutch pick in the end zone from corner Darian Kendrick.
Takes the snap, looks to the end zone, scrambles left, still looking, fires a shot. Ball is intercepted in the end zone. A little tit for tat by the Seahawks defense. They pick off Aaron Rodgers in the end zone. That's a long way from where we're sitting, folks, and it took me a while to see it. But on the interception was Darian Kendrick, the former Ram, and Seattle gets out of a jam there. They're going to take over. The ball will come out to the 20.
And the Seahawks went on to win 31-17. They return home Sunday to take on the New Orleans Saints at Lumen Field. That game, 105. You can listen to all the coverage right here on KIRO News Radio. So it was football for breakfast, baseball for lunch. The Mariners are the hottest team in baseball now. They've won 9 games in a row, completing a 4-game sweep of the Angels over the weekend at T-Mobile Park. The offense did their job yesterday in the series finale, racking up 11 runs on 16 hits. Mariners pitcher George Kirby had a career day, too. He threw 14 strikeouts, tying his career high. Had a perfect game going into the 5th.
Nods his head into the motion. Here comes the 2-2. Strike 3 called. There it is, career high. Strikeout number 14, burns in a fastball right past Adele. George Kirby dealing all day long. Punching tickets number 14, and that's going to be the day for George Kirby. A sensational afternoon against the Angels.
What a fun Sunday that was. 11-2 the final. Seattle now sits alone atop the American League West. They'll get the day off before leaving town for the final road trip of the year, beginning in Kansas City tomorrow, a 3-game set against the Royals. It's 8:12. Time to talk about the weather now. It's brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. It's going to be a lovely day, mostly sunny and 70 for today. One day of a little bit of heat, 83 tomorrow, and then we'll be back to the mid-70s on Wednesday. All in all, just lots of sunshine, just scattered clouds through the week. No rain in the forecast. Right now, it is cloudy and 54 in Seattle. And at 8:13, time for a check on traffic. And we do that every 10 minutes. Here's Chris Sullivan.
Yeah, start with some positive news. Looks like we have cleared this crash on northbound 167 coming out of the Sumner area. It was just before 24th, but the damage is kind of done. We're backed up down the South Hill on eastbound 512 all the way into the merge there with 167. But after that, it's not too bad of a drive until you get up to about 180th. We're actually pretty clear through Auburn. So the travel time has actually come down significantly. We're looking at about 50 or 48 minutes now to go from Puyallup to Renton, so we're trending in the right direction. However, Renton to Bellevue's added a couple more minutes. We're looking at 45 minutes there. Federal Way to Seattle, struggling primarily at the north end part of that drive. It's about an hour from Federal Way to Seattle. 40 of those minutes are from South Center. By the way, if you're looking to get off at Michigan from I-5, I would find another way because we have a crash, a pretty significant crash right at 6th and Michigan, right there just in the Georgetown neighborhood. This is a car on its side, and there's a pretty big bunch of fire trucks, ambulances, and things there. And so there's not a lot of movement there on both directions of Michigan between basically Corson and East Marginal Way. The lake bridges are still in very good shape. Coming down from the north end, we have hour drives from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. So that's not too bad. And we're still dealing with the slowing on either direction of 104 after a Hood Canal bridge lift. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
It's 8:14. Some of the biggest names in music took the stage at the Vatican for the Holy City's first ever concert. We get more live from KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gashard.
The concert was co-produced by Pharrell Williams, who also performed. Jennifer Hudson was there. Other stars were Andrea Bocelli, Karol G, and John Legend. And even Jelly Roll met with Pope Leo and performed his song, Hard-Fought Hallelujah.
I hit hard and hands are feeling heavy. And that's when I lift them just a little higher. I'll bring my heart.
Over 250,000 people gathered for the concert in St. Peter's Square on Saturday. The Pope's birthday was just yesterday. He turned 70.
What a lineup. I saw a picture of Jelly Roll with the Pope, and I had to do a double take to find out what he was all about.
Yep,
But have you been to the Square?
My parents went this summer.
Oh, that would be amazing to be there for a big concert like that. All right, thanks, Katrina. It's 8:15.
I think when you follow an animal long enough, you definitely perceive the world differently, more like they do. I've been studying mountain lions for more than 20 years now. They're one of the most elusive animals that I know. It's taken me many years to begin to understand mountain lions. I've been carefully decoding their behaviors. Let's put a bush now, maybe right here. Slowly piecing together their secret lives. That was incredibly intimate. Because it's easy to forget that every cat is an individual. And that each of them contribute to the world in a different way. And once you recognize this fact, everything changes.
So very cool. Hopefully you're watching on our YouTube channel. That was the voice of Mark Elbrock, biologist and storyteller behind the new film, Heart of a Lion. He followed the journey of two mountain lion mothers on their path from the rugged Wyoming wilderness all the way to the Olympic Peninsula here in Washington. He's with us this morning here on Seattle's Morning News. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
That little 1-minute snippet was absolutely gorgeous. As soon as the pups showed up, we all went, oh, or what do you call baby mountain lions?
Oh, gosh, that's a good question. I call them kittens.
Okay.
And the reason it's a good question is small cats have kittens, big cats have cubs, and they've always been called the biggest of the small cats.
Gotcha. Mark, how did you become so interested in mountain lions?
Oh, dumb luck, really. As a biologist, you sort of fall into species to spend your life with, and I just got really lucky and was offered a position 20-ish years ago to work with this species and have stuck with it since.
What led you to follow these specific families on this trek?
Oh, goodness. Their location, really. We had the first project. So the film includes work from sort of the last 14 years where I lived in Wyoming to begin with. And just F61 was the female that lived outside our door of our office. And then Yoko is a female that lives outside my door of my house here in Washington on the Olympic Peninsula. And so it was just their proximity that made them so accessible and easy to follow.
Tell us about the process. How long did it take to make Heart of a Lion?
Oh, that's a good question. The work itself, meaning the science and the following of cats stretches back to 2012. And then the actual filmmaking, I think Joe Pontecorvo, the director, has been working on the film with Jeff Hogan, another cameraman, about 3 years.
How close did you actually get to the animals?
Oh, we get very, very close. The one wonderful thing about this species is they're ultimately super cautious, and they allow you to get quite close without being aggressive. And so, yeah, we handle mountain lions frequently. I mean, I catch them for a living, if you will, and sort of we mark them and follow them and handle kittens frequently, and I'm lucky enough to spend a lot of time in close proximity.
You say mountain lions are somewhat misconceived. How so?
Oh, goodness. So many ways. We sort of think of them as these solitary robotic animals that are all the same, that they're aggressive and ultimately something we should be concerned about every time we enter the woods. But all of those things, I think, are misconceptions. They're more social than we think. They have frequent interactions with their neighbors. Mothers spend over 80% of their lives in the company of kittens, so it's hard to call them solitary. They are all different. They all are individual personalities that really interact differently with other animals, with humans, etc. They ultimately are cautious, just like I said earlier, in that Yes, they are a large carnivore with teeth and claws that have the potential to hurt people, but the reality of the risks of living alongside them are tiny, and nothing really we should be worried about.
We're talking with Mark Elbrock. He's the storyteller behind the new film Heart of a Lion. Are mountain lions endangered?
They are not. And as a species globally, they are not. The only place where they are listed, or at least where there's a breeding population where they're listed as endangered, is Florida, where they're called Florida panthers. And so that population is small and isolated, and for that reason requires a lot of conservation support.
I'm glad you mentioned Florida panthers because some people call them mountain lions, some people call them cougars. What's actually accurate? Is it dependent on where you live?
They're all accurate. Yeah, that's right. Depending on where you live, in the United States, the most common is mountain lion. Coming from Wyoming, that's kind of what I tend to fall into. But here in Washington and Oregon, the most common usage is cougar, and that's true of Canada as well. But they're all the same animal. They have hundreds of names because they are the most widespread terrestrial mammal in the Americas, from central Canada all the way to the tip of South America.
Is this your first film project?
We have done a few from Wyoming, so this is not my first, but this is my first like this, where I'm sort of the narrator and sort of following me rather than following the cats, outright.
What do you want people to know when they watch the movie Heart of a Lion?
The film is to celebrate the species, to share what we've been learning on the Olympic Peninsula in Wyoming, sort of some of their secret lives, to kind of introduce the species to people who may never think about them. It shares some of our cool insights, how we've seen them fishing for salmon on the Olympic Peninsula, hunting seals, all sorts of cool like little tidbits. But ultimately, we also want to, reveal some of their challenges. And that, it's really up to us to live alongside them if we want to.
That one little minute clip we saw was spectacular. I mean, the footage is just beautiful. I can't wait to see the movie. It is Heart of a Lion. And where and when can we see it?
That's a good question, too. The first premiere will be this Saturday in Boston, Massachusetts. We hope to have far more numerous presentations locally here in Washington, because we live here and we filmed here. We want to share it with our community. And then ultimately where it will be distributed is yet unknown, because that needs to be figured out by the director.
Have your people get back in touch with us when you know, and we'll pass it along. Thank you so much. Mark Elbrock, again, biologist and storyteller behind the new film Heart of a Lion. Can't wait to see it. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, take care. It's 8:22, and that's time to check traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. Here's Chris Sullivan.
And I'm glad you asked that question, Amanda, because I was going to jump in.
Well,
because everybody calls them something different.
Every time we have a story about a sighting, it's like, is it a cougar or a mountain lion?
Mountain lion? Is it? Yeah, exactly.
Now you know.
So we're Florida
if you're
Panther.
In Florida, it's a panther.
Yeah. So anyway, so it's all the same. Well, that's good. Yeah, I'm excited to see that too. That's really
it was
cool
beautiful.
Footage. Yeah, I'm excited. Looking at the drive now, vast improvement on the Valley Freeway down in the Sumner area after this long-term crash we had northbound 167 before 24th has moved out of the way. We still have just some really localized slowing right around 410 and on 410 itself. But overall, then now the Puyallup to Renton drive is running at about 45 minutes now. So we've definitely picked up the pace. We have not picked up the pace on northbound 405, though. 45 minutes now, bumper to bumper up through the S-curves, get a little bit of a gap, and then you hit it again in Factoria with all the weaving and merging with everybody coming around on I-90, so plan on delays there. Northbound I-5, we're starting to see some more action right after the Kent-Des Moines road. I'm going to check in to see if we might have something on the cams there approaching 200th up to 188th, because that's a little slower than it should be. That adds us up to about an hour and 10-minute trip now from Federal Way to Seattle, with northbound I-5 being very heavy past the Michigan curve. Just a reminder, if you get off at the Michigan curve, either direction of I-5, watch out. There is a pretty significant crash right at 6th Ave. It looks like they've opened up one lane in the westbound direction of Michigan because of this crash. It involves a rollover there just by the Shell station, if you're familiar with that area. So plan on unusual delays there in that Georgetown neighborhood. Across the lake, I-90 definitely seeing some very heavy brake lights tying into I-5. Plan on about 25 minutes to go from Bellevue to Seattle on I-90, about 20 on 520, and we're still rolling with hour drives from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue as we continue to struggle away from Linwood. This report brought to you by AAA of Washington. The all-new Everyday membership gives you discounts and perks at more than 900 local businesses, and all for just $25 per year. Join AAA Washington today.
Our forecast, a very nice week ahead. Just some scattered clouds, but we're going to see lots of sunshine. 74 today. Tomorrow heating up into the low 80s, but it's just a one-day deal. Back to the mid-70s for Wednesday, around 70 on Thursday. And Friday, low 70s. Right now, it is mostly cloudy, seeing a few sun breaks and 54 in the city right now. Coming up on Seattle's Morning News, CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger on what to expect from the Federal Reserve meeting this week. That's on the way here on Seattle's Morning News.
This hour is brought to you by WaFd Bank.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, we've got a new administration. What have we seen as a result at the IRS?
Well, the result that I think everyone has seen is, unfortunately, reduction in staff.
And yet people think that because of those reductions, they're in a better spot.
Well, it's not necessarily the case, because the IRS is still going to work with the staff that they have. And in fact, their collection activity is going up.
But now is also the best time to get something done that could be favorable to the taxpayer who owes.
It's very interesting. I've had 2 cases now where that I was able to get settled with the IRS fairly quickly and with some excellent results. I think they're just trying to get any case where there's a real live person working on it through the system quicker. They're needing to handle a lot more cases. The caseload isn't going to slow down.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Bathfitter just hit a big milestone, 42,000 installations in Western Washington. To celebrate, Bathfitter's offering payments as low as $125 a month. Ursula Royteen here. I chose Bathfitter Northwest because they work here, they live here, and they love making bathrooms better for their neighbors. Custom fit tub and shower solutions are installed in as little as 1 day, and every installation is backed by a lifetime warranty. Call Bathfitter or visit bathfitternw.com to schedule a free consultation. This special offer won't last.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all 3 like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple 1-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
It may be the most noble profession.
Come on.
It's the work of heroes.
Heroes?
You want to live without plumbing?
Well, no.
Then you need plumbers.
Right.
Thing is, so do I.
You need plumbers.
Smiles, actually.
Smiling plumbers?
Or someone who smiles and wants to become an Apollo plumber.
A smile. That's what it takes?
Skills are something we can teach.
Sure.
But a positive attitude comes from within. win.
That's a big part of being an Apollo plumber.
The biggest part.
What else?
A desire to learn and serve.
Just like every Apollo plumber.
As they learn, so shall they earn.
Earn?
Apollo plumbers can earn 6 figures.
Enough to make me smile.
We believe you get what you give.
Give a smile.
And Apollo Service.
Get a smile.
A well-paid smile.
Driving one of those big blue Apollo trucks.
That's the goal.
Does seem pretty noble.
It's important, satisfying work.
And you're looking now?
There's always room for another smile around here.
On the Apollo Plumbing team.
Apply at apolloplumbing.com.
You're invited to the birthday party of a lifetime. Warner Brothers Discovery presents Bugs Bunny at the Symphony, coming to Benaroya Hall, October 10th, 11th, and 12th, in a special new 35th anniversary edition. Enjoy classic Looney Tunes on the big screen as the Seattle Symphony plays the unforgettable music scores live. Ticket info at seattlesymphony.org.
Open enrollment for Medicare is coming up. Are you ready? Herb Weisbaum, the consumer man here. Get organized early with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit from the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Order your free copy today at insurance.wa.gov.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 8:31. A 3-alarm brush fire on the shoulder of I-5 in South Beacon Hill created heavy smoke and flames, and KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reports it spread to nearby homes.
Fire reached 4 homes, which then forced people to evacuate.
2 of the homes sustained significant damage where the fire went inside the home, into the attic space, into the living areas.
We were in there and quick knock on the door, and I looked out, everybody ran away, and then she looked out the window and said, "Fire!"
David Wyndham's home was one of the 4 impacted.
Our shed is destroyed, but that happens. And part of my car melted.
And as neighbors look at the damage left behind, they are happy to know no lives were lost.
Students at several Seattle high schools plan to walk out today, and it's all about lunch. The district is splitting one lunch period into 2 at 7 schools, and students say that's a problem.
The issues it brings up are horrendous.
Leo Fallet-Beamonte, a junior at Nathan Hale High, says they're upset they won't be able to eat with friends. They also worry clubs that meet during lunch will suffer. As of today, Ballard, Garfield, Ingram, Lincoln, Nathan Hale, Roosevelt, and West Seattle high schools have 2 30-minute lunch periods. So at 11 o'clock, kids plan to walk out of class and head to district headquarters.
We will meet there, have a rally with speeches, and we also will have a lunch in front of the building to symbolize what they're trying to take away, which is all of us as a community having lunch and spending time with our friends and peers.
The district tells the Seattle Times schools don't have enough staff to handle the entire student body in one 30-minute lunch period, and schools that have tried a single 1-hour block have had trouble meeting state instructional time rules. A wave of sick calls at Jenny Reed Elementary in Tacoma has triggered a district investigation. About 35 staff members called out Friday in protest of recent staffing cuts, including the loss of teachers, an assistant principal, and office staff. This parent spoke with KIRO 7 TV.
Just give them a heart of forgiveness of what was going on, because our kids is our future, right? It's future for our families and our communities. And we need you, teachers. Please come back.
Tacoma Public Schools says it scrambled to fill gaps, deploying district leaders to supervise classrooms and lunch periods. The district is now investigating possible misconduct. It's 8:33. That's time for traffic around here. We do that every 10 minutes for you. And here's Sully.
And it looks like we're trying to calm down across the board. Our travel times are kind of picking up the pace, which is a positive thing. We got to start with the Valley Freeway, which had gotten up over an hour with a long-term crash just out of Sumner. Now that that's clear, we just have a little bit of braking right around the 410 interchange and then a little bit of braking at the far north end. So overall, the travel time is 45 minutes from end to end, with 20 of those minutes out of Auburn. So really not as bad as we could expect. Westbound 410, though, still pretty heavy through Sumner because of your driving right through that crash scene. Rented to Bellevue, stabilized right around 45 minutes. The S-curves are active, and then you hit it right at I-90 again. Speaking of I-90, there was a little bit of westbound slowing across the lake, but 22 minutes, 25 minutes to go from Bellevue to Seattle. Not out of line. On 520, you hit it really heavy in Montlake getting across Portage Bay, working into the I-5 corridor, but a similar travel time. Federal Way to Seattle, whatever was getting slow just past the Kent Des Moines Road is cleared up because we're back to yellow instead of a red on the map. Federal Way to Seattle, about an hour, with 40 of those minutes from the South Center area. And a reminder, if you get off in the Michigan Curve trying to get, say, into Georgetown or SoDo, we have a crash at 6th and Michigan, which is impacting both directions. One lane is open in each direction, but there's a car on a top, and there's a pretty heavy backup around it. Out of the north end, back under an hour from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, which is great. The KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Starting to see more sunshine, just a few scattered clouds for today. We're warming up to 70, 83 for tomorrow, and then back to the mid-70s for Wednesday. It looks like a really nice week. We're going to see plenty of sunshine with just scattered clouds. Highs back down around 70 on Thursday. It's cloudy and 54 in Seattle right now.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974, this is KIRO News Radio.
Big week for the Federal Reserve. Every Monday, we check in with CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger. Jill, always great to have you on. Let's dive into what's shaping up to be a big week for the Fed.
Oh, yeah. Well, tomorrow they start their two-day meeting. It's widely expected they will cut interest rates by 0.25 percentage point. And, I think it's possible that we get 0.5 percentage point, but I think the more likely scenario is 0.25 percentage point. You probably don't even realize this because you're not geeks and I am. And a year ago was when the Fed first began cutting interest rates after they had raised them to fight inflation. So it was September of 2024. And they launched a rate cut campaign. It started with 0.5 point, then 2/4 points. So we had a full percentage point shaved off of the Fed funds rate between September and December of last year. But then the Fed went on pause. And the reason is they just didn't understand how the Trump administration's policies would filter through to the entire economy. So I think now what we know is the labor market is weakening. And while tariffs are causing inflation to rise, it doesn't seem, and I say this right now because these are sort of early days, it doesn't seem like we're going to get this massive spike in inflation. It looks more like we'll get this slow increase in the inflation rate, which will moderate and then start to come down again. So in that case, the Fed's going to be much more concerned with the fact that job growth is slackening. We're seeing the number of jobs created every month fall. We're not going off a cliff, gang. I don't want you to hear that. We're not in a recession right now, but it does look like job growth is kind of slowing down, and the Fed's going to pay attention to that, and that's why I think we get 0.25 percentage point.
This is quite a delicate thing to balance, isn't it?
I know. I feel bad for the Fed. It's not a great job right now. One economist said to me that this is the most uncertain and difficult to predict economy that she has seen in decades. 4 decades, essentially, because, we have never come off of this crazy period called the pandemic where there was, so much loss of life, but also loss of jobs, resurgence of jobs, no inflation, then inflation. And that kind of feed through of the economy is really difficult to now suss out at this point and say, what's going to happen next? It is an uncertain time, but so far, the economy continues to grow. So far, the spending that's going on in, say, AI is just massive, and it's really pushing through the economy in a way that's helping stocks, but maybe not individuals yet. So I do think that we're going to be in a situation with the Fed, at least, where they're going to tell us we're cutting. We're not so sure about the future. We're going to keep monitoring the data. But of course, all this is to say that if things change quickly, so will the Fed.
Jill, the Fed's also going to release new economic projections this week. What are we watching for?
I don't know why we watch this. I got to be honest with you. I'm not an economist, so far be it for me to judge them, but they kind of stink at making short-term projections, just like most people do. It really is hard. These are projections. They're not certainties. And so when we look at the Fed's projections, the reason why markets and investors pay attention to it is that they think they're getting a jump on what the Fed might do. But the Fed's been wrong many times in terms of their short-term projections, and they shift policy accordingly. So I'll give you an example. Let's say the projections come out and they say, hey, we think the economy is slowing down and we're going to lower rates by 0.25 percentage point for the next blank meetings. And, that'll shave another 1 or 1.5 percentage points off the Fed funds rate. But if in 3 months, 6 months, we have a re-escalation of trade and tariff talk and things get worse and the inflation rate starts to rise, they're not going to cut interest rates. So that's why I think I don't know why they actually do this because I don't think it's actually useful for most people.
We'll see what happens. Jill, thank you so much. CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger. It's 8:39. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the heavy brake lights working your way through the Renton S-curves. We'll break it down for you next.
The Northwest's trusted news source, KIRO Newsradio.
Police in Federal Way are investigating what appears to be a car explosion.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is live from the neighborhood.
I can't tell you enough how crazy this scene is here.
Coverage you depend on.
A massive police presence in Kent.
From voices you know and trust.
We have an active fire inside one of these buildings here.
KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
It's 8:43. That's time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. What's happening, Sully?
Well, as all the other roads are starting to pick up the pace, 405 is actually adding travel time. So that's not good. We've actually added 5 more minutes to the drive from Renton to Bellevue, and we've settled in at about 50 minutes now from Renton to Bellevue. It is very slow up through the construction zone today past 44th, and then there's more at Factoria across the I-90 corridor. So, just all the way up to Southeast 8th, really. So just not exactly a great drive there, 50 minutes. But behind that, the Valley Freeway has cleaned out really nicely. We do have brake lights right there in Sumner past the scene of this crash, which is still over on the right-hand shoulder before 24th, and then a little bit at the north end. But 45 minutes to make the drive from Puyallup to Renton, that's pretty good. Northbound I-5 doesn't really see much action until you get up to the beginnings of mids of Boeing Field, so that's pretty good. Back under an hour to make the drive from Federal Way to Seattle. Now, if you get off in Georgetown, just be aware we're still working with this crash that has a car on its side right there at 6th and Michigan, so there is some delay in both directions, but there are lanes getting by it now, which is certainly an improvement improvement. Lake bridges are still good. Coming down from the north end, we are looking at about a 50-minute trip from Everett to Seattle, about 50 from Everett to Bellevue. The heaviest part of the drive now is getting from 85th down across the Ship Canal Bridge into the downtown core. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic brought to you by AAA of Washington, where membership unlocks epic roadside rescues, hundreds of local perks and discounts, travel and insurance expertise, and somehow more. Join today.
It's going to be a nice week weather-wise. We're going to see sunshine for today, 70-hour high. A little bit warmer tomorrow. We'll be into the low 80s for tomorrow, but it's just a one-day heat up. 74 on Wednesday. Lots of sunshine for the rest of the week, with those highs staying around 70. Right now in Seattle, it is partly cloudy and 54. And it's 8:45. Washington's Brandi Carlile spotted at a Nashville karaoke bar. KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gishard is here with more.
Brandi was seen rocking out to one woman's karaoke performance of her own hit song, The Joke, at this bar. Listen to this, guys. But it gets better. Then the 11-time Grammy winner joined in on the fun, performing a duet of Bonnie Tyler's Total Eclipse of the Heart. Yes, and she has a new album that comes out end of next month.
How cool would that be to have been at that karaoke bar? How fun. Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks, Katrina. It's 8:46. Coming up, G. Scott stops by to weigh in on yesterday's big Seahawks victory. That's coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
Summer's fast approaching, which makes this the perfect time to get ready for the busy season with help from WaFd Bank. Get ahead of the game with services like payment processing so customers can buy through kiosk, mobile, online, contactless, whatever way they want to pay. Plus, get industry-leading security and personalized help from dedicated IT support so you can get back to the important stuff. WaFd Bank has the knowledge and experience to make your business goals a reality. WaFd Bank, built for business. Visit wafdbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
When the heat's in 11, cool AC would be heaven.
Dayandnight.net.
Get end-of-season savings of 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump while supplies last at Day and Night.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Save 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump, plus no payments or interest for a year OAC. Call for details.
Dayandnight.net.
Hi, Seahawks fans. Steve Rabel here for Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. Lung cancer is one of the deadliest cancers in the U.S., but early detection can make all the difference. If you're over 55 and have a history of smoking or a family history of lung cancer, you may qualify for a life-saving screening. So join us at Seahawks Crucial Catch Game on October 20th. Virginia Mason Franciscan Health will be offering lung cancer screenings before the game. Spots are limited, so check out vmfh.org/Seahawks to see if you qualify today.
Hey, it's Lori from Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation with exciting news. We now offer the exclusive K-Guard gutter system. Say goodbye to clogged gutters and hello to less maintenance. Call today or visit us online at guardianroofing.com.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling September 29th. Free Good to Go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
There are 6 markets you can place your money in. Research suggests it's better to have exposure to all 6 markets. Don't miss a potential opportunity because you didn't strategically diversify your assets. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Request your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing in your portfolio. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Seattle's Morning News. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
It's 8:49. Joining us now from the G and Ursula Show. You can hear that from 9 to noon right here on KIRO News Radio. Also host of the Reset podcast, available at mynorthwest.com, is one G. Scott.
Ooh,
how about those Hawks?
The Seattle Seahawks are 1-1 on the season.
They went to Pittsburgh, to hostile territory, towels spinning and waving, and came out victorious. 31-17. Sam Darnold slung it. K9 rocked it. Cooper Kupp said, y'all must have forgot. And JSN is the best in the world. It was incredible. DK Metcalf was in there. DK Metcalf got locked down. He scored a little bit, but he was held to 3 catches for 20 yards, 6 targets, and 2 drop passes. DK, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, and that Seahawks secondary will lock you-know-what up.
Yo.
Josh Jobe had him glued to
Josh Jobe
had him glued to DK like a church deacon on a lady in a troubled marriage. That coverage was tighter than a do-rag than the night before prom. Josh Jobe had DK wrapped up like your grandma's plastic couch, sticky with no room to breathe. I'm telling you right now, it was go!
I had a feeling you were going to be a little pumped up this morning.
So much that he gets out of the camera frame.
So the Seahawks have now beat Aaron Rodgers as a Packer, a Jet, and a Steeler.
Come on now. I mean, taking care of business. What you say?
Okay,
I mean,
what was the best play? Do you have a best play, or was it all just so darn good?
It has to come down to the play that has not happened in 45 years. The Seahawks go to kick it off. You go to get your coffee. You go to use the bathroom real quick.
Happened?
You know what I'm saying? You're like, wait, hold on. The Seahawks scored? My man George Halani, shout out to George Halani, went down there. He knew to go get that ball. That hasn't happened in 45 years. That's how great that play was.
Do you think part of that is Jay Harbaugh, the special teams coach for the Seahawks, training the guys? Or that's just George Halani?
That was just George Halani.
Preseason star George Halani.
That was just George Halani. I mean, look, it was great. Look, I just want to talk about something real quick. Can we just say, you guys know what the Seahawks have been doing? Remember, I don't know for those who are new Seahawks fans, but for those that have been around a while, remember back in the day when the Seahawks did not do well with 10 o'clock games? Right? Sully, you remember that? They were struggling.
Yeah, they couldn't do anything at those East Coast games.
Check this out. They went 3-0 in 2024, right? And in their last 24 10 o'clock games, they didn't won 19 of them bad boys. 19! I'm talking about they winning. Their track record is almost like somebody's marriages. Great. Anyways.
Your tone is just a tad different than it was last Monday.
Well, I'll tell you why.
Are you feeling better about the team in general?
So much better. On Friday, I told you guys, people was talking smack to me. They were saying, and I was kind of in my feelings, Manda. I was thinking like, and I didn't have, look, let me be truthful. On Sunday, I did not have the confidence. But boy, after they won that game, I was y'all hear me talking now? You hear me talking now?
Now
and
you can talk smack to them.
They come back home against the Saints on Sunday in Lumen Field. Make sure you're there, be there, or be square, or wherever you watch the game. The Seahawks are back. Hold on, before I go, shout out to the Mariners.
Thank you. I was going to ask you before you left.
All the Mariners need to do was come on home. And sometimes you, baby, come on home and get some of Mama's cooking. And that's exactly what the Mariners needed. They came and won 9 in a row.
11-2 yesterday.
Was this the best weekend in Seattle sports you guys can remember? I feel like it might be the best.
Unless you're a Coug. Because if you're a Coug, the Mariners score more points than your football team.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cougs got smacked around. Go Cougs.
It's nice to see you in a good mood on a Monday morning.
I know.
It
Good
was
to see y'all.
Awesome sports day.
So,
Thanks.
did those land pretty good, Sully?
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
Yeah.
Nothing too offensive.
Yeah, I like Grandma's couch.
Oh, the
Grandma's couch. Yeah, Job had him pretty well locked up like that. I like it.
The right to remain silent. Now, that one I get to say some more words on the podcast.
Okay. Yeah, I bet you do. Yeah.
You'll have to listen. It's the Reset Podcast and the G and Ursula Show coming up at 9 o'clock. It's 8:53. Sully, what's up in traffic?
Well, we're definitely seeing our travel times come down with one exception. We're looking at northbound 405. Still struggling a little bit. 50 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. We have some gaps in it now, but heavy through those S-curves, heavy north of 44th, little gap, and then you hit it again all the way into downtown Bellevue. So delays there. Northbound 167, not terrible. We're running at 45 minutes. Even the I-5 corridor, we're back down to about 35 minutes out of South Center, so we've picked up about 5 minutes there. Overall, 55 minutes to make it from Federal Way to Seattle. Just a reminder, they're still in the process of mopping up this crash right there at 6th and Michigan. So if you get off at Michigan trying to get into Georgetown or work your way to East Marginal Way, just be prepared for some smaller backups. They're getting that car out of the way. Coming down from the north end, back down to 45 minutes now from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. That's really good. Pierce County is cleared out nicely, and Olympia to Tacoma is not bad. Lake bridges are more than manageable. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
It's going to be a beautiful day, mostly sunny and 70, warming up to the low 80s for tomorrow, but just one toasty day. Back to the mid-70s for Wednesday, with lots of sunshine this week. Right now, partly cloudy and 54 in Seattle. Before we get too far away from the Seahawks, I need to mention they're back home this weekend. Today is the last day you can enter to win 4 tickets to watch the Seahawks game September 21st. All you have to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app, click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, simply text app to 888-973-5476. We'll send you a link to download. Stay tuned for the G and Ursula show coming up on KIRO News Radio.
You're invited to the birthday party of a lifetime. Warner Brothers Discovery presents Bugs Bunny at the Symphony, coming to Benaroya Hall, October 10th, 11th, and 12th, in a special new 35th anniversary edition. Enjoy classic Looney Tunes on the big screen as the Seattle Symphony plays the unforgettable music scores live. Ticket info at seattlesymphony.org.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
It's G. Scott. School's back and it's rally time. Time to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong and stay focused, but for families on tight budgets, that's not easy. Safeway and the Washington State Department of Health have teamed up and need your help. Every dollar you donate at Safeway checkout helps families in need. And with SNAP Produce Match, they get twice as much for the dollar. Next time you're at Safeway, please donate to keep kids healthy.
Hey, it's Dave Ross. If you have joint pain, this will interest you. Wednesday, September 17th, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
What joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, so if you're in pain, join the free live stem cell webinar Wednesday night at 6 to learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
If your closets are bursting at the seams like the Curley household, it's time to call the pros at Closets by Design Seattle. Every job is completely custom. Free in-home design consultation. Right now, they're offering big savings up to 40% off, plus an additional 15% off with 18 months financing and free installation. You're getting the quality and backing of a national brand, but with friendly local Seattle service. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule your free in-home design consultation today.
Has it been hot in your house this summer? Maybe worried about the cold coming in this fall and into the winter? Might be because your insulation's just not up to snuff. That was my problem, Mike Salk here, and that's why I called Crawl Pros. They came out, they did a corner-to-corner inspection of my crawl space and attic, and they fixed that problem once and for all. If your home has any damaged insulation or no insulation in the attic or crawl space, you're bleeding money every month to heat and cool your home, but you don't have to. And even better, if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to properly insulate your crawl space and attic. Yeah, 95%, but you gotta act now. Many of these rebates are ending at the end of this year, including the federal incentives. Let Crawl Pros come out and properly insulate your home before the cooler fall weather comes in. If you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty? Then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Bathfitter just hit a big milestone, 42,000 installations in Western Washington. Celebrate with payments as low as $125 a month. A beautiful bath installed in one day, no mess, and a lifetime warranty. Call Bathfitter or visit bathfitternw.com today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.